The ability to figure things out on your own is a skill that is honed and forged through a lot of hard work and mistakes and failures. And I think it's incredibly underrated to try to take things and learn them on your own and figure them out your own way. I'm going to tell you guys a few stories throughout my life here where I've used that skill kind of to just of my own natural instinct and my own inclinations to kind of guide my way through things and what the result has been. So I'm going to tell you guys a few stories here. The earliest one that comes to mind is when I was a kid and I first got a Rubik's Cube and I wanted to solve the heck out of that thing. I think I was 10 years old. I was in 5th grade and I wanted to be the kid that could solve a Rubik's Cube. And now you can just go online and watch a video and figure out how to solve one in an hour if you've never done it before, right? But now at this point, I'll tell you guys, I haven't solved a Rubik's Cube in probably years, honestly, like a regular one, and I could probably solve one in 2 minutes still because I still haven't memorized. But the amount of grind I went through as a 10-year-old to solve that thing, it was crazy. Like I was saying, now they have a bunch of videos and guides and tutorials on how to do it. When I was learning, like in 2009 and 2010, like there were some videos on the internet, but as a 9 or 10-year-old, I literally could not follow them, and I was trying to follow them, and I was taking all these notes, and I even bought books to try to figure these things out, and everything I did, I could not figure it out, and it took me probably 6 or 8 months of me just working at the thing, and just, I'm telling you, tons of nights just crying, frustrated as a kid, right? I mean, honestly, like I was just obsessed with figuring this thing out and I could not do it. And there was one day I took like a week or 2 break and I'm like, screw it. And then I came back to it and I just had looked at all the notes I'd written down. I'm like, whatever, I'm just going to try one time to follow through my notes. And it worked and I did it. And I could not believe in my mind that I actually solved a Rubik's Cube. And it was amazing. And I think me persevering through all of it and just trying to figure it out my own way of reading my notes and taking in all these different resources where there weren't that many really helped me pave my way to figure out the way that worked best for me and understand how the Rubik's Cube worked. Now I'm going to move on to another story of me struggling with guitar. So I've talked about on this YouTube channel where I'm a guitar player, and music has been something that's kind of natural to me. I have a natural inclination for music, and I brought a guitar with me to college. And the reason why I started playing or wanting to play guitar is because I saw someone like on America's Got Talent or like the Ellen show, like some like 6-year-old like absolutely shredding the guitar. And I was like, I can do that if he can do that. Like, come on. If a 6-year-old can do it and play like Metallica and like Black Sabbath, all these cool bands that I liked, and shred hard, how could I not do it as an 18-year-old in college? So I bought one and literally taught myself on my own pretty much everything that I knew. I did not take a music class until I was like 4 or 5 years in, and I took a music class at the university I went to, and I didn't really learn that much, honestly, from the class, and I was kind of already beyond the class. It was a classical guitar class, so it was about classical music and whatnot and how to play classical guitar. But in terms of like guitar skill, guitar, like using your hands and whatnot, and like music theory, like I was far beyond the class. And improvising skills, I was far beyond the class. So I had taught myself on my own kind of how I went about learning the guitar and what I was interested in. I just followed my interest, right? And used my ear to guide me what I liked, what I didn't like, and learning new things and watching videos and trying to figure things out on my own. And it paved the way for me to figure out my own style on the guitar. How I like fret certain chords is completely different than like the technical way you're supposed to, but they work the best for me, right? So that's another story of where, that's something that came more natural to me, but it was something where I basically figured it all out on my own. And I really am proud of that. Now I come to my final story, which is now in my new job that I've been working in the last almost 2 months now. There's this certain process where we have to track inventory in our job for our product that we are shipping and allocating to our region and our stores. And just keeping track of our inventory on our inventory sheets and using our systems. Like I've talked about a little bit how I've had some frustrations with my new team because there's just so many people on my team and they're teaching me the same thing, but they're all going it about their own way and saying, oh, this person's way is wrong. You need to do it like this. And then another person will be like, no, don't listen to that person. Do it my way. And they all do it just a little bit differently or differently entirely, but they get the same result. And it's really frustrating when you're learning one way and they're like, no, don't do that. You need to do it this way. And you can't get down just one way how to do your job. And, I've had all these different people show me, and I've kind of internalized that and taken notes on it. And then I'm like, screw it. I'm just going to go into it and just play with it on my own and try to make sense of it. And I've learned the most that way, just me playing in it and having things add up perfectly and all of my inventory matching up with our system. Like, it took me just looking at it and not having someone just telling me what to do and just letting me look at it and try to just think about it and understand it, which has been really tough in the job because the job is incredibly fast paced and you don't have a lot of time to just sit and think. But I'm at the beginning stage where I don't really care what people think. If it's going to help me understand my job, it is what it is. So I sit there and just kind of think about it and I'm like, blah, 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 and put everything in, and then it checks out and I'm like, oh, interesting. So that's one piece of my job puzzle that I've started to get down, which has been really nice. So with all these stories coming together, the main takeaway of this video is I really do think it's good to struggle with things, struggling to learning things on your own for so many reasons, guys. Mainly because you're actually trying, right? You're trying on your own to do this thing and get it down. You're continuing to work your resilience muscle. You're in that grit mindset, right? You are just grinding, where you're continuing to persist and resist and be resilient and continue to push yourself. Even though you might not understand something, you could take a break, but you come back to it. And when you're pushing yourself like that, once you get that aha moment, it's such a good feeling, and it really does. It's a good feeling in your brain too. It's like a release. You're like, oh my gosh, I got it. And it's so good. You not only are you working hard to figure things out, but once you have that aha moment, that way is the way that you understand it and the way that works best for you. And it's so cool where you get to apply your own way, your own style at something to learn something and hone it. That's super cool and good. You aren't going through the actions with a different way that doesn't work for you. So if someone's like I gave the example when some other people have been teaching me at work how to use our inventory systems and all that, it hasn't been working as well as like it works, but like me internalizing that and then finding my own way and just taking the notes and all the knowledge they've given me and then just doing it and being like, now this makes more sense to me, and having it all check out. That's the way that's going to work best for you. You're finding the way that works for you, not one where you're just going through the actions of someone else that someone else told you to do, and you're not internalizing what the actual why of the thing that you're doing is. And you continue to pave the path that works best for you, which is the best thing. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. I really think it's so incredibly underrated to struggle to learn things on your own, right? And push through and persevere. It is so underrated, especially now with like social media, AI, YouTube. There's so many easy ways to figure things out these days. But even YouTube's an interesting one. You can go on YouTube and try to figure things out on your own. Like if you want to build a table, you could watch a video on YouTube to build a table instead of buying one and save yourself money if you really want to become crafty. Like that's an example. Or playing the guitar. You can play on the guitar and have YouTube guide you, right? Instead of like just having someone completely teach you and tell you this is the right way. No, this is the right way. So I think it's really good. I think it's healthy. Of course, it's hard, but in the end, I think it's definitely worth it, and it makes you a better person, and benefits you long term. And like a dividend, like it's an investment that pays long term. So I'm curious to hear what you guys would think on that, and if you agree or disagree in the comments. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope everyone has a great night, and peace out, brothers.